finished up to go to the airport, and it turns out the car heard a little bit of a knock in the front, so I'm wondering if it just needs some oil fluids. But either way, I knew I couldn't make the trip all the way to PDX without messing up the car, so I called in. It's about 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I'm used to being up at this time, so yeah, I figured what I do is just work on ADHERE gear stuff instead, which is actually what I do at the airport anyways, is work on ADHERE gear stuff. But yeah, I want to give you guys a tour of the shop. So here's what we got. So we redid the shop. We got a nice couch area, a little makeshift wall, some beverages, some coffee machine. We got this little snack storage thing. We've got some entertainment. So this whole space is pretty much a little beanbag chair, pretty much for the boys, so that when I'm working, they have a little area to play with their trains and stuff, and kind of hang out. Not really for Cristiano, he's a little young, but for little Robert, he's pretty good with this kind of space. And you can see on the other side, I'm still reorganizing the shop. So I got all my tools scattered against the counter. But I do have, it's going to be a pretty hard push on digital. So I do have a pretty sick setup going on here. Everything was purchased off of Craigslist. I'm sorry, not Craigslist, Goodwill. I guess a few things off Craigslist. So we had a really tight budget, but we needed some really large format monitors to work with, and screens to be able to zoom in and out of these parts. So you can see here, like, we got a lot of hardcore parts that are really hard engineered, and we need to really be able to get in there and see, what those parts are looking like on the millimeter level, but in large format. So our big push is to pretty much be able to get to a point where we're 3D ready. We're not sure if Portugal is going to happen or not. It's a big goal of mine for the entire year. But after getting all the way up until this point, about a month and a half before Portugal is supposed to happen, slated to pay for my ticket October 7th paycheck. But now I'm in this predicament of, do I push for the prototype or push for going to Portugal to showcase what I got? And I gotta be honest, I feel like if I'm gonna go to Portugal, like, I need to go all in and kind of have everything I need to really do a great job showcasing what I've got. And I don't feel like I got that. Even though I have some phenomenal prototypes, we built some great stuff up until this point, I still don't think that they're good enough for showcasing to the world what I got. I think I'm not going to do myself justice. So instead, as of right now, what we're going to do is just keep pumping out a lot of the digital material, editing and getting everything perfected, or not perfected, but like as good as you can get, in terms of all the engineering details and stuff, and then start to figure out if we're going to print a few pieces. But right now we're leaning towards working our butt off at the airport and working our butt off at this job for the apartment, working those two jobs really hard to save up and get a 3D printer. And then from there, taking our digital files that we've been working on the entire time and start 3D printing these parts so that you really have a precise prototype model that's to scale and has all the right looks and all the right features and functions that it should have in a working prototype. And then we'll infuse it with technology. It's a daunting task. An investor would make this not easier, because you still got to do the work either way, but it sure would streamline the financial end of getting to that point where you can buy the 3D printer. It's going to cost me between $6,000 and $10,000, maybe $4,000. It depends, because there's a lot of research having to do to figure out what 3D printers work out well and don't run into problems. So, but between 6 and 10, it looks like they're pretty bulletproof in terms of the maintenance side, and they seem to plug and play, which is really what we're looking for. Their large format is what we need, so that's the other thing that drives that price tag up. We need 24 by 36 or 24 by 24 print sizes. A lot of the cheaper ones are like 12 inches or 10 inches or 7 inches. Way too small. You know, your luggage isn't going to be 7 inches tall. So, you know, unless we're doing a mini model, which I think is kind of a terrible idea. Because if you're going to do it, just do it. You know, print the full scale. So yeah, every airport shift I take on is $50. So it actually really sucks that I missed my shift today, because that's $50 less that I don't have now. But every shift is $50, and the price to get in is $6,000 to get the printer. So it gives you an idea of how many shifts I have to do. Now, season's coming up, so supposedly you get some bonuses and stuff. $300 a week just to show up on time. It's my first shift that I've ever been late for, aka not made it to. Never been late for any other, so it's kind of sucks. But yeah, we did recently get our motorcycle. We got to get plates and stuff for it and tags, but we were able to successfully pay that off so we could get it. The guy was gracious enough to take a couple of payments from me and hold the bike for me, so that worked out pretty good. So we do have our second mode of transportation. Not the safest, but I'm pretty good at driving motorcycles, so it was purchased as a backup so that we could go to pitch conferences and competitions, back up to the car in case something were to happen, to be able to go in and still not skip a beat, and also to be able to do long distances to go meet with investors, since the car isn't really, it was just meant to be like get around town and stuff, and for the boys and for the wifey. So yeah, we don't have any tags or anything on it yet, otherwise I would have hopped on that this morning to get to work. So yeah, it's been really crazy. You know, I know it's a long update. It's just been really nuts, you know, working 3 jobs, you know, 60, 80, 90 hours a week, whatever it is. You know, we had a bunch of turns at the apartment complex. Been really pushing hard and meeting with a lot of manufacturers and stuff on how to print this pod pack and how much printers are, and you know, easily spend, you know, $50,000, $100,000 on a 3D printer if you really wanted to, which is really what I want to do, to be honest. But I think to get my feet wet and get into the game, I gotta put some more work in financially, if nobody else is. You know, you gotta be the first one to believe in yourself before everybody else does. So if that's what I gotta do, then, you know, I'll take the next 3, you know, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it takes, of working the 3 jobs until I can buy that printer, and then show everybody what I got. You know, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna quit. I know that this thing's gonna catch fire, and it's gonna spread so quickly. It's gonna be awesome. I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing for everybody, and I see it clearly. And so that's why I'm willing to wake up at 3 in the morning and take an airport job just to do some research to figure out how luggage and cargo travels through the system. I'm really passionate, really into making this a huge success. So yeah, that's, like I said, that's a shop. So, you know, here's the makeshift wall. Get an idea of that. It's really good. It helps keep the kids separate from all the dangerous tools. It gives them some snacks, gives them area to take a little nap or to hang out and watch their Mary Poppins or whatever they want to watch. Nice, clean, brand new rugs on the ground. A little bit tidying up here and there to do, like those concrete bags, getting rid of those and getting rid of that stuff over there. But for the most part, it's very safe. Got a little library, got a bunch of VHSs, some Disney up there. So yeah, that's an update, guys. So we'll touch base probably in a few days and see where we're at with the digital. Really pushing hard for that, and hope everybody's doing all right. We'll check in with you guys later. As usual, ADHERE out.